Now I pull up on the scene, dead fresh and casket clean. They gon' hate on me, yeah. Gon' hate on me. When I pull up on the scene, dead fresh and casket clean. They gon' hate on me, yeah. Gon' hate on me, yeah. Pull up on the scene, dead fresh and casket clean. They gon' hate on me, yeah. Gon' hate on me.
Yes, guess who? It's us. We back. It's been a long time. And we're going to get right into it, man. The intro, you'll notice, has a lot of familiar, unfamiliar, recognizably yet unrecognizable faces when it comes to being a Miami Heat fan. The artist formerly known as 22 is still present in the video. Current Indiana Pacer Thomas Bryant, who has a game later tonight, by the way, is still in the video. We're going to properly address that, but just know, people, this is our fourth time trying to get the actual podcast started because we couldn't keep it together at the fact that those videos are indicative of the Miami Heat's last season, and it just kind of threw our situation as a network as a whole, multiple shows, personalities, fans, team, it just threw us for a loop. And it's just funny because, like, seeing that video before trying to come on to do a pod after so long, it's just kind of indicative of where we were. And of course, Deem couldn't keep it together. You got Joel in the chat. Shout out to Joel. You got Alex trying to make it on ASAP in the chat, going crazy because, like, Jimmy Butler and Thomas Bryant are still in the intro video. With that being said,
even the Jimmy Butler thing, I think it's more of the Thomas Bryant, you know.
Nah. Drew Smith gonna be back on the team next year, so that fits. But it's definitely Jimmy Butler too. Definitely. Like that
was funny.
No ill will. We just not there no more. And it's just a reminder of not even the good stuff. It's just a reminder of, like, for me, what last season became, and two parts to play in it, but largely because of him. Anyway, with that being said, what you got? You got anything to close last season real quick? I'll give you a couple minutes. If you got anything on last season, then close it out real quick, Dean.
I closed last season out in, like, what, February?
Good enough for me. So if we're gonna move on to where we are now, man, currently in the Miami Heatosphere, there are a couple of things at the forefront, at the top of mind. Of course, we have the draft. Of course, we have free agency. Of course, you know, they have their own internal business to take care of, which we'll try to touch on a little bit of it today, on this little return episode. But the first thing I'll get into on this Biscayne Breakdown is the biggest topic at hand. Joe, give us the tweet from Shams, please. ESPN reporting the Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant's business partner, Rich Kleiman, are sorting through trade options, with interested teams mainly featuring Houston, San Antonio, Minnesota, Miami, and New York. Initial thoughts. Dean, Kevin Durant in a Miami Heat uniform.
This was like 4 or 5 years ago. I'll be excited, but going after a 37-year-old guy who's going to be 37 when the season starts, who's still a good player, he can put up 25, but I'm just not as excited as I was when the rumors happened when he was in Brooklyn about him coming to Miami, or even when he was leaving Brooklyn before he went to Phoenix. I'm just not as excited to get he's going to be 37 when the season starts. I'm just not. It doesn't tickle me no more like it did.
That's a wild choice of words,
like 4
my
or 5
brother.
years ago.
But either way, I understand what you're saying. That's a wild choice of words, though. As Alex screams in the chat, Kevin, hard eyes. I love you, Kevin. Bring me Kevin now. I'll say this. You said 37, which would be his years of age. The number that's important to me is 27, which is the amount of points per game that he averaged just last season. That moves me. I'm hearing a lot of talk about a gap year for the Miami Heat, a gap year. Have you heard that chatter, Dean?
Yeah, we briefly talked about it yesterday. Well, was it
Okay,
yesterday or
just quickly, not to go into it, but tell us what the gap year is to you, and then where you stand on it, real quick, and then I'm gonna get back to my Kevin Durant take.
um I honestly, bro, it's just like I don't really have no like I don't have no feelings on it. Like it like if they decided to go and do that, then I'm like, okay. Like I mentioned in the our group chat that we talked about, I feel as though last year was a gap year. I just I don't know. I need to know what direction they're
Well, that's what. So you don't even know, because I was about to ask you, or what would that look like for you? But you're about to say you need to know what that looks like, right? Okay. That's why that don't even make no sense to me, because we know that the Miami Heat don't do no gap years and none of that. And to their dismay in some situations, to their credit and, to their terror in certain situations. However, for me, when you're talking about signing or going to get a Kevin Durant, you have a gap year effectively. It's the same thing as bridge years to me. Like, you don't have the guy who's going to be the next 1A true cornerstone of your franchise. May not be there, may not be out there. But if you go get a guy who's going to bring 27 points per game with him, and he's going to give you that if he can stay healthy, and if the mission is to win ball games and hoop, which is going to be when you have Spo, when you have Pat, when you have Bam Adebayo, then I think that if you can find a way to turn certain things into a Kevin Durant, even at this age, because it's only for a couple of years at max.
maybe 2.
That's
3
what I'm
more.
saying. It's only for a couple of years at max, a bridge until your next thing. I don't mind it because of that. Yeah, we're going to get into that. With that being said, bring up the next piece of information, Joe. The Heat offered Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson, a first-round pick, and Nikola Jovic for Kevin Durant at the trade deadline. The Suns rejected the trade and asked for a larger return via Flash Sports Buzz, who's Barry Jackson, of course, all of us know.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, Dan?
When did this tweet come out?
I think that's from earlier today.
I didn't see that. And this is the problem I have with Heat fans. If that didn't land you KD, Jimmy Butler was in that trade package. If that didn't land you KD, and I understand people say, well, Jimmy maybe didn't want to go to Phoenix and Phoenix didn't want to take that on. Phoenix knew all along from the trade deadline that KD was going to ask for a trade. We knew that. We've been saying that. If that don't land you KD, Miami has nothing else to offer with a better package than that. With Jimmy Butler in there, like it's not like Andrew Wiggins is not going to land you KD. It's just not going to happen.
You are absolutely 100% correct about that Suns team. Hear me out. At that point early in the season, the Suns' mission was still to try to salvage this that they got going on right now, which means to still win ball games. This is what I screamed in April, and I screamed it to you all. I screamed to other people that I was talking about. At this particular junctions, though, because the Suns know that Bradley Beal ain't going to accept a buyout, you got to pay him the whole remainder of whatever you owe him.
And he has a trade, no clause. So it's going to be, I mean, he's got to go to a place he really, really believe in.
He ain't leaving. He ain't leaving. He already said it. He ain't leaving. His family comfortable. He don't feel like moving them no more. Their mission now is to get cheap. Their mission now is money relief. It's not the same as it was just 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. So I feel like now, if you can, because this was my theory. After the whole thing went down and everybody in the world, Blind Man, Stevie Wonder, who said he watched countless hours of Jamie Foxx film the other night before the BET Awards. Funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Him admitting that, he's in on the joke. But everybody knew that Kevin Durant was going to be gone. So if your mission now, so if your mission now isn't to play for next season, because they're not trying to, whatever they're doing, they're not thinking about winning seriously in this coming season. Well, next season, because we're still in the playoffs. Go ahead.
No, I want you to finish.
They're not thinking about winning seriously in the next season because their books ain't set up for it. They already have to be playing towards the season following that. And the most conducive thing towards properly doing that and maximizing the guy that everybody says is absolutely never leaving Phoenix, the guy who's been reportedly, who's going to reportedly get another extension any day now, Devin Booker, you have to be clearing the books to try to build it up around him, because I think at that point you're also off the Bradley Beal money.
Yeah, this is the thing, this is why I do think they're playing to win. For one, and I know that the coach they hired, he's a young, fresh, new head coach, and from Cleveland. But
the GM's a yes man for Ishbia. But go ahead.
I believe they wants to win, because if they don't, Devin Booker doesn't want to just keep missing the playoff and keep losing. So I believe that's the reason why he's going to sign.
Ultimately, yes. I'm just talking about for this coming year, though.
This is my belief, and we talked about this in the group chat, not like just before we jumped on stream. You go get the best package available, right? Even if you can't move on from Bradley Beal this year, this offseason, and which Bradley Beal has 2 years left on his contract? Is it 2 years? This year and next year?
I want to say this year and next year.
Now, let's say they Bradley Beal just find it in his heart. They talk him into moving him, and he agrees on the team, whatever. You go get the best deal available, and the best package, who I believe is available out there, is from New York. You can trade either KD and Cat straight up, or add a little whatever teams want in it. Or you can go get a Mikal Bridges, or OG, maybe a Mitchell Robinson, and a pick or whatever for KD. I think New York has the best package. I believe that Phoenix does want to win. I believe Phoenix want to win. Because I don't think if they didn't want to win and they want to rebuild and get under the apron and collect all these draft picks, you're not going to get draft picks for KD. You might get one draft pick for KD. So if you want to rebuild and get these draft picks, you want to move Devin Booker. That's the guy who's going to bring you draft picks. KD's not going to bring you draft picks. Bradley Beal's definitely not giving you draft picks. You might got to add a draft pick just to get off of that contract. Right. So, I mean, if they really want to get all these assets, you have to trade Devin Booker. You're not going to re-sign him to a contract. But it doesn't make sense.
To your point, that don't fit their goal or their timelines, though. Devin Booker ain't a guy right now where you look to build around him with draft picks. They don't care about draft picks. They don't have any. Their goal is to clear room.
Win.
But their goal is to acquire talent and build that team with their pocketbook. Like, they're gonna pay. So that's why
players. You get the best trade package available. The owner already said he can't. His mind is he's coming in to win, and whatever price he has to pay, he's going to pay that.
So the best trade package isn't about the returning talent, though. The best trade package is what get us to the most money to spend faster, right?
But who goes to free agents? What free agent has signed with Phoenix or wants to go play in Phoenix? We haven't seen one since when? Since
Jimmy
who?
Wanted to go play in Phoenix. KD wanted to go play in Phoenix.
Why he wanted to play in Phoenix? Because Devin Booker was there. And
that means other guys will go too if they got the money to pay him, but they got to get there.
But that's one guy out of how many years Devin Booker has been.
Hey, brother, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm not saying their logic is wrong either.
Fair? I don't know. I personally think they're in it to win. I mean, you don't want to go down another
so what
year.
You think is they trying to flip KD for something right now?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
That's why you like teams like Phoenix. That's why you like teams like San Antonio. KD wants to play in San Antonio. San Antonio got some good pieces to trade for to get KD. So
they not win now pieces. None of those pieces are win now pieces, though. None of those pieces really fit Devin Booker's timeline.
So that means that, like I said, if it'd be the Knicks package, the Knicks would have the best package for him then.
Well, if you trade the Knicks package, then you right back where you are, cap strap with a guy who making the same amount of money as KD. But you still can't add to it.
You can't. But what are we adding to it in free agency?
If you bottom out and have money to play with, money talk. you can figure it out. But if you don't even have the money or the opportunity, it don't even matter.
So that means you should just strip everything down and start over. And you don't sign
But they not gonna do that. But they not gonna do that though. We can't play that game because we already know they're gonna re-sign Devin Booker. I mean, again,
are they going to
Deem,
re-sign Devin Booker to trade him? Because we've seen that happen plenty of times.
You're not wrong. I understand. I agree. But what I'm telling you is just that's just not their logic.
All right, but let's read this comment that Joe said. Joe in the private chat, he said Phoenix was attractive enough for Bradley Beal to lift his no trade clause. Why was that? Because everyone thought Phoenix with KD and Devin Booker was a finals team or a playoff team when that wasn't the case. They overpaid for Bradley Beal, which was a horrible trade from the beginning. I always thought it was a bad trade.
Right.
That's why and I think Bradley Beal would have lifted his no trade clause for any team to get out of Washington. Let's be for real. He would have lifted his no trade clause for almost any team that was going to be in the playoffs. He would have lifted his no trade clause for.
I don't think he would have went to Cleveland. I don't think he would have went to Sacramento.
Probably not Sacramento. Cleveland, I could see him in Cleveland.
They ain't had Donovan Mitchell at the time. I don't think he would have went to Cleveland.
They didn't have Donovan Mitchell at the time?
I don't think they had Donovan Mitchell at the time.
Now, when did he get traded? He got traded last year, right? Donovan Mitchell was there last year.
I thought it was 2 years ago.
2023. Yeah, Mitchell was there.
I thought Mitchell came to the Cavs. He came to the Cavs right before that season.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have been able to do it then. That's okay. That's
Cleveland. So that means Cleveland was off the table. But I think
everybody but Sacramento.
Everybody but Sacramento. Yeah, I'll say that. Everybody but Sacramento. They had Fox then. I mean, but probably still.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to go.
Still.
Yeah,
all right. Interesting. All right. With that being said, if we know that Phoenix is probably, as Alex joins, if we know that Phoenix is probably looking to get off of him. Now, Deem, thinks that the Miami Heat will be outbid and that Phoenix should be looking to do something else. Since you're just joining, to give you a chance to respond really quick before we move on, because we've already been on 20 minutes, of course. Wow. Alex, how are you feeling about the Miami Heat potentially landing Kevin Durant? And did you see? Did you? I think you were listening, so you did hear what I had read off that Barry had reported.
What's up, y'all? Glad to get on. But yeah, honestly, I agree with K. Like KD is, he's gonna be 37, but he's one of the best scorers of all time. So with that being said, like, if you can get KD, you go get KD and you just figure it out. Let him bridge whatever happens after he retires, but you just go get him. Like I was telling somebody on Twitter today, I was like, I think he's gonna retire whenever he hangs up his shoes. He's gonna just have finished averaging over 20 a game on 50% shooting still. So it's like, he's still gonna be KD no matter how old he is, I think.
So you willing to pay a 37-year-old guy $50-something million, who's lately been an injury-prone guy, except for the season that just passed? I'm not willing. I think again that puts
Alex just hit that. Sound like Jimmy Butler to me. Look,
it lands you in the middle of nowhere again.
But it gives us and
it does not fit Jimmy. It does not fit Bam.
Nah, I can't let you say that, Deem. It can't be laying you in the middle of nowhere when we just came off multiple finals appearances.
But that's different.
What you mean by that? Jimmy
was younger. You're not going to get. Jimmy got older. Like KD's not going to get no younger. Bam's not going to get no younger. Tyler's not going to get no younger.
You're right. But I think that the literal 27 PPG and what he can, which is going to be my next one. I was trying to use this to segue, but I guess I'm going to say it now and we'll just get there at some point. I feel like the actual 20, let's just go 20, even if we drop by 2, the actual 25 PPG and a guy that can still command a double team, I think what that's going to do for this version of Tyler and Bam would be equal to what Jimmy was giving the Heat in those past 4 years when Tyler and Bam and some of the other guys weren't what they are now.
Not if he's not on the court and not healthy, and not if he took a step slower because of the age.
In the last 2 years, KD played 75 games, 23, 24. This past year, he played 62.
I just said except for the year that we previously just came off, but every year after that, he's been an injury-prone guy.
What have you done for me lately?
I say not really.
Then you're going. He's coming into 37. So I just listened a whole season of Heat fans begging the Heat front office to trade Jimmy Butler because he was a aging injury-prone star. But we're want to bring in another injury-prone star.
You go, K.
That's going to be 37. It makes no sense to me. Like, it makes no sense to me.
Wait a minute.
Y'all tried to trade Jimmy Butler, but y'all crying to bring in someone older. Yes, KD is greater, but still, he's still 37. He's gonna want more money. It just makes no sense to me. Heat fan logic is ridiculous.
Honestly, the Heat fans, we weren't really screaming to trade Jimmy, but once we realized, all right, they're not gonna pay him, then it's like, yo, if you're not gonna pay him, you might as well just trade him now. Like, if that's what it is. Then on top of that, I understand everything you're trying to say. KD is still better than Jimmy Butler. Like, that's just what it is.
But
Kevin Durant is a better basketball player than Jimmy Butler.
After next year,
easily.
So after this year that's going to come up. What's this? The 2025, 2026 season that's going to come up?
26.
KD's got 1 year left on his contract. So after 2025-26, he's going to be a free agent. He's going to be a free agent.
I'm giving him a two-year max extension right now. Right when you trade for him, 2 years max.
I'm at least offering the 1-and-1.
I'm offering 2, no options, no nothing, much as I can give him.
I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care how great a player is.
I hate myself, but I agree with Alex.
It's Kevin.
I don't care. I don't care how great a player is. I'm not.
Kevin.
I'm not doing that. No.
It's Kevin.
My boy said. My boy said, I don't care how great a player he is. What?
It's Kevin,
bro. At 37. So we're gonna pay 38 and the 39-year-old.
I agree.
$50 million.
He just averaged 27.
Yes, because it's Kevin.
No.
27 is closer to 30 than it ain't.
It's not happening. I'm not doing it. We just cried. Heat fans just cried about trading Jimmy Butler.
Because Jimmy was listen. I'm looking at it right now.
Bro,
Jimmy was averaging 17 points
a extension. We just had George come on and said, yo, Miami shouldn't sign Jimmy because he's getting up there in age. He's going to be 35, 36. So why we want to pay a 35, 36-year-old all this money? And he's injury prone, but we want to pay.
They also hold on. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
When people say that about Jimmy, they say, why are we going to pay a 35, 36-year-old injury prone guy that doesn't really take the regular season serious? That's what they say when they say that.
What? Deem,
what you cannot do is accuse Kevin Durant of never taking every game serious. You don't average 27 by not taking every game serious.
What have I been saying for the past 2 years on this pod? I don't care if what you do. Well, I'm not going to say that because it sounds like I complain about how crap Jimmy played in the regular season. Mm-hmm. But when he was going into the playoffs, he put everything on the line. This
is turning into a crap on 22, and this ain't what we're trying to do.
3 years, he had the greatest playoff performance in the past 3 years. You could probably argue his whole tenure in Miami.
We agree.
You could probably argue that. Do we believe at 38 years old, 37 years old, 39 years old, however KD's going to be, he's going to put up the same playoff performance as Jimmy Butler? No, because he haven't done it yet. He hasn't done it yet. Since Golden State, he has not put up that same playoff performance as Jimmy Butler. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. No. Show me one playoff series.
You go ahead, K. I'm gonna find it. You go ahead, K.
He hasn't. You don't have to find it. In Brooklyn, he didn't do it.
Huh?
And
when everybody got
Brooklyn,
injured and he almost single-handedly won the series.
almost.
Yeah, he put his toe was on the line.
Bro,
He literally lost because he made a long two. I feel like K is looking it up, and I'm trying to look it up faster than K can.
Oh no, I'm not looking at it. You know me, man. I'm
name
an instant callback. I'm letting them get it off.
My head, the great playoff performance Jimmy Butler had in the last 10 years.
So I think that goes back to what I was saying, man. Look, Jimmy's raw, whatever it was, KD don't have that. But KD brings you 25 whole points per game. When you need a bucket, the Heat's greatest weakness in the last 4 years, even throughout the Jimmy tenure, when things slow down, when things got mucky, when they needed it, when stuff slowed down, when the games got sloppy, and they needed something to be able to bring them out of that, KD can do that. But also, when you're talking 25 whole points per game, yowzers. When you're talking 25 whole points per game, hold on. When you're talking 25 whole points per game, and you bring that
was one game
with Spo, with Bam again, and with this version of Tyler Hero, who they can only single cover now because they have to double cover Kevin Durant, then you're talking about equal effects. So no, we're not saying that Kevin Durant is Jimmy Butler from a heart of a lion perspective. We're saying he can give you 25. And with this version of Bam, with this version of Tyler, with Eric Spoelstra and the rest of the guys that they can put around them, the effect in this Eastern Conference that's in shambles right now can be winning. That's all we say.
What are you going to put around them with paying Tyler $30 million?
We're gonna see now you're stepping on my toes. Now you're stepping on my toes. That takes us to the next question.
$50 million.
So because as we said, that's been my biggest thing. That's why I was so upset. And I didn't want this to turn into a poo-poo on Jimmy thing, because this ain't what it is. Deem made us compare Kevin Durant and Jimmy. Let's put that out there. Deem made all of us compare Jimmy and Kevin Durant. We didn't want to do it. Deem made us do this, okay?
All I said, show me a whole series where KD physically dominated the series. I didn't say show me one game.
It sounds like show me a series where Kevin Durant was Jimmy to me, but that's all I'm saying. Okay. Because that's what's so upsetting. We didn't get to see this Tyler Hero with a guy that could command a double team. And I think KD could do that. But this ain't about that, because we're gonna have plenty of time, hopefully, before stuff pop off, because it's gonna be a chaotic offseason, as I have also been saying. But Shams has also reiterated in the recent weeks that we're looking at one of the most, and I think Wendy had it too, we're probably looking at one of the most chaotic NBA offseasons in a while. But with that being said, and to the notion of seeing Tyler Hero not have to endure double teams on a nightly basis because there is another guy who can consistently command a double, there's a little matter of his deal. Look, still throwing up Kevin Durant stats.
Pull up Jimmy's.
There's a little matter. You can pull up Jimmy's next, Joe. There's a little matter of Tyler Hero's next deal. 3 years, $150 million, I think, are the reported. Is it 3 for 150? Okay. Yeah. So on that deal in the ending press conference, and we're not gonna spend a ton of time here because I know the opinions can be short and sweet, and we probably all agree. And Tyler's ending presser, he was like, look, you can pay me now or you can pay me later, but the number go up. In response to that, Pat Riley said, well, you heard it. Now, this is how I'm going to ask that question. When you heard Pat Riley say, well, you heard what he said, what did you take from that, Alex?
I honestly took kind of sort of that we would give him the money, but we're hoping that I guess we get somebody who's actually a 1A to come in so that his numbers drop, so that then we could be like, hey, we can really not give you all this money and build a better team, which is exactly what I would do. Ain't no way in the world I'm paying that man $50 million a year to be a one-way dude. Ain't no way. It's not happening. So that's what I took. Like, yeah, we could, but I'm hoping that we don't have to.
How about you, Dame? Same question. What did you take from Pat Riley's response?
I don't even want to say what I really took because I say it off stream. But my political correct answer is I just like, oh, we're going to cave in. We're going to pay him. That's it.
For me, again, yeah. I mean, it's kind of what you said, Dame. I can't say what I really feel. You know, for FCC purposes or whatever. Even though we're not regulated, I'm just being cute. But nah, for me, what I thought Pat Riley was saying, oh, you got me fucked up. Oh, you heard it. You got me fucked up. Like, he watched these playoffs. He watched them get hunted by Ty Jerome. We're not giving you $50 million, dog. That's what that was Pat Riley's way of playing nice, addressing it without actually having to address it.
Boy, that's not. I don't know. I got something different, but
no, effectively, you got. Hey, man, that's what the guy said. We're going to have to give him his money. That's what you took from it. I ain't take that. That ain't Pat Riley. Pat Riley ain't that direct.
That's Pat Riley when it comes to Tyler. So,
boy, y'all hard on that man. Y'all hard on that man for the fact that he believe in that white boy from Milwaukee. Y'all is hard on that guy.
If Jimmy would have said it, boy.
If Jimmy would, I mean,
you'd have told Jimmy, I wish people stop talking and just play basketball.
You mean the same thing he told Tyler Hero?
That's different.
So it's different when he said to Tyler Hero in the same spew that he's saying it to Jimmy.
Yeah.
He didn't say it to Tyler the same way because
not at all.
Well, Tyler's thing wasn't as dramatic as Jimmy's either, but go ahead.
But and Tyler didn't do as much as Jimmy did, so
are we saying? So wait a minute. So let me ask you guys this. None of us are parents, but we gonna all imagine, right? So what you telling me, Deem, is that the child, everybody got a favorite, so I don't want to hear that either. The kid that you deem to be the best, we ain't gonna use favorite. The kid that you deem to be my best kid, like the one that you know, when you tell him to do something, 90% of the time it's gonna get done like you want to do. You got another kid that it's like 70% of the time, you know what I'm saying? When I tell you to do something, and then you got one kid that's like only 40% of the time, you know what I'm saying, it get done. So you're gonna treat 70% different than you treat 40%, is what you telling me.
I'm gonna leave it simple. I'm gonna treat my best player better than I treat any other.
So yeah,
player.
you're gonna treat your favorite kid different than you treat your other kid.
If I'm Pat Riley and how Jimmy's been carrying this team, and a lot of the times he had crap teams and he took them above and beyond. I'm gonna do what I'm not gonna say I'm gonna cave into him every time. No, that's not but I'm gonna be like, you know what, Jimmy, you deserve it. You deserve it. Matter of fact, you have to, like, you know, you got enough credibility to be like, you know, I can go talk about, oh, they lucky I was hurt, or Boston lucky. You got the right to say that because you proven and you shown us what you can do in the playoffs. You proven and you shown us you can beat a Boston team whose roster was constructed better than your team. So you have that right to talk trash. You have the right to say what you had to say.
We got you. Look, and I ain't cutting you off as much
Tyler
as
didn't.
We're getting long in the tooth, so we want to move on, but I want to say this. You are absolutely right, bro. In that all happened. However, it's fair to say if you had taken the regular seasons more seriously, you wouldn't have found yourself in a position to be hurt, to have those opportunities to say, if I would have. If you won't in that play-in game versus the 76ers, then maybe you don't have that injury. Is that fair to ask?
And this is the problem I had. I said this all along. People were saying when Jimmy wasn't playing well in the regular season, when he had a 3-game stretch where he played like crap, people say, oh, he's just trolling. He's just trolling. I said, no, maybe he just had a bad game. And I blame that on Heat fans and Heat media. It's Heat fans and Heat media fault who always thought when Jimmy had a bad game in the regular season, he's not taking it serious. He's just trolling. No, it could have been genuinely he had a bad game.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it. I'm gonna let you get a talk. I'm gonna let you get one of these off before we move off, Alex. But then I'm gonna move on. Well, that absolutely means he's not worth the money. But go ahead, Alex.
All right. And it's like, okay, I understand what Deem is saying. Obviously, I understand what K is saying too. But there's a difference between, to me, all right, I had a bad game.
There's a difference between missing the shots and not even looking to take them.
That's exactly what I was
That
about
was
to say.
only last year. Come on, that was only last year.
No, bro, that's
That
been
was
his whole
last
tenure,
year.
bro. That's been his whole tenure, Deem. You've got on this
That was
very
last
show
year.
and
No,
said that.
Deem.
Deem, you've got on this show and said that.
Oh,
Come on,
man.
bro.
Come on, yo.
Come on, bro.
Yo, y'all doing?
Oh, okay. I like that type of energy from you, D. And he know Jimmy gonna see it, so he meant it. All right, man. We're gonna move on, but we'll be back next week. We're gonna be regular with y'all. I'm telling y'all, we're gonna be
Jimmy,
regular.
I would never go
stick to
against
it.
you, Jimmy
We're
Butler.
gonna
I'm gonna forever stand by your side, baby.
we're gonna try to be consistent. We're gonna have a brand new intro that don't have Thomas Bryant or Jimmy Butler in it.
We can keep Jimmy in the intro.
Shout out to the artist formerly known as 22, man. I still love you too, Jimmy. I hate how you did this, but you know what I mean?
Me too. I love Jimbo.
But I hate how it happened, but it just is what it is. Look, man, final topic, because we still fans of the game, and we're gonna be fair, and we're gonna try to hopefully this might not come out before the game come out because Joel got something to do at 5, but it'll be out soon after. Let's get a little opinion. Right now, the NBA Finals sits at 1-1, headed back to Indiana. You know, we coming off that miraculous comeback in game 1. Tyrese Halliburton hit that shot to win the game. Basically, the Thunder have dominated this series for 90 of the 96 minutes. That's it. Pacers had a chance to win game 1, stole it, did what they've been doing all postseason, and we sit at 1-1. This point moving forward, give me about a minute on it. What you see, what do you think you'll continue to see, who wins the series, and how many games? Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's been a great series. I actually enjoyed it. I seen all the game 2. I didn't see all the game 1. I seen the ending of game 1, like the ending, the ending that everybody's seen. But I think it's been a great series. And like Kay said, OKC has dominated this series, and Indiana has did what they've done all playoffs. So I don't really care who wins. I just want to keep enjoying the good series. I believe that it has been outside of game 2. Game 2 is kind of.
Well, I'm gonna go back and address that because you made 2 good points, and I think they both can be true in this sense. Okay, you don't have a desire for who you want to win, but who do you think will win? Toss up. It's tough to say. I'm not even going to trip because I can understand how you feel that way.
OKC has the more talent, but I think the way Rick Carlisle got those guys playing, man, the way he's been coaching, it's been ridiculous. Like it's been great. It's been great. So and that's why I think it's a toss up. But if I had to say, I would probably say OKC just because talent rules. And no matter how great of a coaching job you do, sometimes
you think they got the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
That's why even though OKC has dominated most of the series, I still think it's been a great series because in the back of all our minds, we can't turn the channel because we know at any minute Indiana could do it. And they do it in little bursts throughout the game. They'll close it to 8. They'll close it to 6. They'll close it to 10. They'll close it to 14. And then, the Thunder in game 2, of course, they were able to, maintain and still win the game. But I think even with the domination they show, it's still a great series because Indy is sticking right there. And we know all they got to do is be within 15 with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And you can lose that game.
Yeah.
So what say you, Alex? What you've seen, what you think we will continue to see, who you think will win and how many games, bro?
Racers, Takers, Pacers, OKC in 5.
He turning to Shannon Sharp. All right. That's pretty self-explanatory. Man, so you basically see the Thunder not losing another game. Interesting. That's very interesting.
Nope.
I said it before the series. I said it after game 1. I'm gonna say it now. Indy in 7. I just don't think that OKC has a consistent enough second option. I feel like when they're good. But I feel like Indy's style and pace of play is the most, other than Shea, the 3 most consistent things about this series go Indy's way. And that would be their style of play.
Defense.
Carlisle going to make minimal mistakes every night. And Indy's probably going to have the deeper rotation from a scoring perspective. And of course, we know that OKC is a great defensive team, but what do they always say? Elite offense beat elite defense every single time.
I respect.
Yo, crazy thing, I think both things could be true. Like, I think OKC can win, could win in 5, and I also truly believe Indiana can win in 7. I think both things could be true.
I
man.
think both things could be true too.
I wouldn't be surprised if either one happened.
Me neither. But I think that Indy gonna get a better game. I think from this point on, hearing all of the chatter and being poo like you were in game 2, I think that if you're Tyrese Halliburton, you have to be 20 points a game or more every game for the remainder of this series, however long this series is.
But he
think
can't even get to that because Dort, Caruso, Case and Watt, they not letting him get shots off. Like
I hear you.
They're not letting him get the attempts up to do that.
And he could work harder.
But
he got open.
That's
He
not
shook
his
loose
game.
in the 4th. No, it isn't. And that's the point. He gonna have to become something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Heat, KD, Tyler, finals. Anybody got anything else before we wrap it up?
We'll get to it another day.
Okay. Listen, man. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two. And we're gonna try to make sure it ain't this long again, man. It was a rough last season. I mean, it's over for us though. That's why I'm using the word last season, because it's over, baby. We on to the draft. And we ain't even talk none of that today. Hopefully Rashid Fleming fall down. But we'll talk that. Yeah, man. We thank you for lending your ear to this sound, man. Alex got here when he got here. That's Deem. I'm K. And this is the Biscayne Breakdown. We'll holler.
Now I pull up on the scene.